Heavy rain, ladies, as it streams in from the southwest to the north and east. You can definitely see the Doppler highlighting a very colorful graphic right now. Pockets of very heavy rainfall and cloud to ground lightning will continue on and off over the next couple of hours. So who's currently getting wet? The majority of Charlotte County has definitely been under the influence of an active weather pattern from Port Charlotte through Punta Gorda, south on 75 towards North Fort Myers and Babcock Ranch as well have been getting in on the action. Widespread moderate to heavy rain for sections of Cape Coral, especially central, northern, and then western Cape Coral, out on top of Pine Island from Boca Grande, south through Captiva, and south through the Sanibel and the Causeway area. Also have been dealing with scattered showers and thunderstorms, all of which are moving to the east-northeast at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Lesser amounts down in coastal Collier, but still tracking some of these showers and storms that are slowly drifting from the west to the east, all on the south side of an area of low pressure churning just off of the Tampa and the St. Pete area. You can see the Doppler once again. This is a loop over the last hour. We are currently tracking where the rain is. Very gloomy and an overcast Tuesday time frame for us here, not just in Lee County, but for every county in southwest Florida. My weather icons continue to keep a decent chance for scattered storms through at least 9-10 p.m. After that, a couple of leftover lingering showers under a mostly cloudy sky. Temperatures will hold strong in the lower 80s through about 9 to 10 p.m., then gradually falling into the mid to upper 70s. Now, what can you expect as you head out the door tomorrow morning, the rest of the work week, and your weekend weathercast coming up in a couple more minutes.
A scare at Charlotte Harbor School, where on Monday authorities arrested a student for making a written threat to carry out a mass shooting.
This was the second arrest of a student in the county for making threats in less than a week. And with these events happening more often, school districts need to take action. Wink News reporter Camila Pereira joins us here in the studio. And Camila, a new technology is making its way to some Florida school districts that could help when threats like these get made.
Yeah, that's right, Lois. The drones you see right here, they can help stop school shootings and school threats like the one in Charlotte County, or at least help local law enforcement respond more quickly. So these are the drones in action. You see there in a demonstration at a Florida school of what they do in an event there is an active shooter or threat. Now, Justin Marson, the CEO and founder of Campus Guardian Angel, told me the drones are put in the schools ahead of any threat. That way, when they get an alert of a threat or active shooter on scene, their team of expert drone pilots based in Texas will tap into those cameras on the drones and launch them to respond in seconds.
Is it coming from somebody just calling in and saying they kind of come in with a gun, in which case we're going to look outside? Is it triggered by somebody actually in the building, which would give us a starting point for a search? And then, we come out of the closest box, whichever one is nearest, just the same as a sprinkler head that's over the fire, puts water on it, and then we start looking.
Now, Marston told me they already have these drones up and running at some schools in Texas, and in fact, across the country. They are working also with the Florida Department of Education to have a pilot program done for some districts in our state. Now, I've reached out to our school districts here in Southwest Florida, and so far, none of them say they have been contacted by the state. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Camila. Now we continue our coverage with Wink News security analyst Richard Kulko.
Yeah, so Rich, drones are just one of the methods that everybody's talking about for protecting schools. Are drones really going to work?
They're a great idea, but you have to remember there's approximately 100,000 public schools in the United States. That's a lot, and a bunch more private schools on top of that. So it's hard to imagine the infrastructure necessary to have drones in as many schools as they're going to have them. So, and having the instant decisions, those pilots that would have to operate them, they have to make decisions sitting in these command posts, and of course the technology would have to be ready to work 100% of the time. I don't want to downplay this. It's great that they're trying new technology, new tools. The most important thing is to be able to protect the kids in schools. So some of this technology, besides the expense, can give an inflated perception of security. And I've talked to the professionals, I know many of us have, and the thing that they think works the best, it comes down to having those SROs in the schools. We've seen great improvements in the physical security. One of their best tools that they have now is a social media monitoring tool, seeing what the kids are saying online. We know that they're doing threat assessments. We've seen that in Lee County. They have a robust program there. Having that mental health ability to treat those kids, and of course a trusting relationship between the students and law enforcement or school officials. And of course, the at-risk students need to be identified and they need to be supported.
As parents, what can we do?
Parents, what you got to do is you have to talk to your students. You have to encourage them. If they see something, say something. They can do that anonymously. They can do that to you. They're going to hear these things online. And unfortunately, when we go back and look at these school shootings, there's always somebody that had some inkling that something was going on, there was something wrong, and there are so many people that feel bad. I wish I had just said something or done something, and we'll have to see what happens in the future. So.
All right. Thank you very much, Rich.
The traffic backup at the Wilson Piggott Drawbridge on State Road 31 yesterday, just north of Palm Beach Boulevard, was bad, to say the least. It was bad again this morning, too. People in the area got hit with an unexpected closure of the drawbridge, resulting in detours and bumper-to-bumper traffic. Today, drivers feel a little more optimistic. The southbound lane of the bridge is still closed for repairs. The north side is business as usual. A spokesperson with the Florida Department of Transportation explained they had to close it due to pieces of the steel grid deck being broken on the southbound side. FDOT calls the bridge still structurally sound with nothing wrong with the northbound side. But the slowdown we saw yesterday hasn't been as bad this afternoon, but again, it could get bad going into the evening commute, so we're going to keep you updated on the progress.
If you live in Babcock Ranch, listen up, because this story affects your neighborhood. Charlotte County Commissioners plan to discuss the possible ban of Class 3 electric bikes in the community. Wink News anchor Gracie Fusco spent the day in Babcock Ranch asking people what they thought of this idea.
When it comes to this ban, some people say they're in favor while others not so much. Now, just to clarify, this proposed ban would be for Class 3 e-bikes, which are ones that can reach up to 28 miles per hour.
Right. Peace.
The Class 3 e-bikes would be banned from streets, sidewalks, and bicycle paths. The county says e-bikes in the community have caused safety concerns with drivers swerving on the roads to avoid crashes. Some community members told me they're happy to see this proposed ban, while others feel differently.
I mean, I haven't seen an issue with it, and so I think that it's probably fine. I haven't seen any hazards or anything.
County commissioners set a public hearing date exactly 2 weeks from today. Now, community members are encouraged to come out and voice their opinions before anything is finalized. I'm in Babcock Ranch. Gracie Fusco, Wink News.
Progress at the Seven Islands development in the Cape. Coming up at 4:30, the new amendment the state has to review to move forward on it.
But first, if you have issues with FPL's proposed rate hike, your commissioners may have your back. Why one county voted unanimously to oppose the change.
Off-Phase Electric would like to introduce our Generac Generator organization. We're third-generation electrical contractor. We're Southwest Florida's Generac factory-trained dealer. From our family to yours, no compromise in your safety.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So when it comes to how you move, do you choose to see a doctor or the #1 orthopedic specialists in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment? Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better.
Have you been to Michelli's restaurant in Matlacha lately? Michelli's invites you to join us for our amazing Sunday brunch, offering all the best breakfast, plus a prime rib carving station, made-to-order omelets, seafood, lasagna, pizza, desserts, and more. Add bottomless mimosas or Bloody Marys for just $5 more. Enjoy the live bands or college and pro football packages on our 33 new TVs located inside and out. So come by boat or come by car, dock, dine, and unwind with us at Michelli's restaurant, Matlacha.
I may be man's best friend, but I'm not exactly best man's friend. Even Even I know, though, when it comes to home services, your best case scenario is to call Best. Their trusted and licensed techs provide expert and courteous HVAC, plumbing, electrical services, and free dog biscuits.
Crime in Washington, D.C. has fallen since last month's federal takeover of the D.C. Police Department. The Trump administration says they've cleared homeless encampments and detained hundreds of people in the U.S. illegally. But there's also been a reported drop in tourism in D.C. The White House's command of the police force ends tomorrow. But so far, there's no word about an end date for the National Guard deployment.
Some of the industries most exposed to the rise in tariffs have lost jobs, and employment data also shows a slowdown in hiring rates. Jobs in manufacturing, construction, and transportation turned negative shortly after President Trump implemented tariffs in the spring. The U.S. manufacturing industry has 78,000 fewer jobs now than it did a year ago. Employment rates for those jobs dropped in each of the last 4 months.
Next, a proposed rate hike from FPL gets some pushback. Why one group of local county commissioners voted this morning to oppose it.
I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. If you're in need for a quality, low mileage vehicle, we have more than anyone. Over 400 vehicles.
New South Windows? How about 45% off and a free generator? On September 13th, visit a New South showroom for 40% off. Arrive before noon for an extra 5% discount, plus a free generator. Make your home hurricane ready. One day only, September 13th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Bring your window and door measurements. You must be in person at a New South showroom to get this deal. Offer is subject to conditions. Visit newsouth.com/deal or call 800-NEW-WINDOWS.
It's Donnie Wahlberg. I've got an exciting update. My new show, Boston Blue, is a brand new chapter built on a strong foundation where the story of Danny Reagan will continue. And I have a partner named Lena Silver as Sonequa Martin Green. What do we got? It's a different story with heart, love, and a family at its core. Come along for the ride.
Boston Blue premieres Friday, October 17th, part of CBS Premiere Week, and streaming on Paramount+.
Garage doors break all day, every day, all hours of the day. That's why there's never an extra charge for nights or weekends.
That's the precision difference.
When I'm out on a Sunday, you'll get to see me personally.
I'm not an actor, but I can fix a garage door.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Hi, I'm Cheryl, and I'm the owner of Blingle Premier Lighting. Why don't you let us light up your home for the holidays this year? Let us get up on the ladders so you don't have to. Why don't we take it to the back, where you've got the most beautiful pool enclosure? Ready for Halloween parties? How about Thanksgiving? Christmas is next. Look at that. Even some Grinch green for the kids.
Free Hub Controller, the engine that drives the entire lighting system with every installation before the end of September.
My dad and I have always loved nature. Being out in the water reminds us how lucky we are to live here. Southwest Florida is our home, and there's nowhere else our family would rather be. We care about clean water, we care about justice, and we care about our community. Join our family in supporting capital.
The eerie sounds of Hurricane Irma's winds. Tomorrow marks 8 years since Hurricane Irma made landfall here in southwest Florida. Hurricane Irma hit Collier County the hardest as a Category 3 storm, especially Everglades City. The storm caused more than $20 billion in insured losses on more than 1 million claims across the state. And Greg, one thing I will never forget, just how untouched most of the state was.
Yeah, it was wild.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a very localized event, and 8 years ago tomorrow, can't believe that it's already been 8 years. I was in Colorado at that time, so I wasn't here locally forecasting, but man, did I watch the forecasters across the country kind of highlight that storm. And there's no tropical weather today, but it kind of feels and looks that way. Not with the wind, but it is cloudy, it is rainy, and we've got a lot going on. Radar is certainly very active as an area of low pressure is kind of churning just off the west coast between around the Tampa Bay area south through Fort Myers. Now, location is everything for this, and we are currently on the south side of said low pressure, so that's generating a southwest to northeast flow and or an onshore wind pattern across the Gulf, and that's what's helping produce widespread storms under a mostly cloudy sky, and this will likely continue periodically on and off over the next many hours. The Doppler right now certainly producing a very colorful map with nearly 260 strikes just within the last 15 minutes. So if you're under any of these pockets of heavy rainfall, you're also likely hearing lots of rumbles of thunder. Who's getting wet? Well, the majority of central eastern Charlotte County, from basically Deep Creek, south through Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, out towards Bridgestone Marina, even heading into the Lee County area, North Fort Myers, South Charlotte, and Babcock Ranch, all dealing with pulses of moisture rapidly moving to the east-northeast at about 15 miles per hour. Widespread rain has overtaken the majority of Cape Coral, northern, central, and into southern Cape Coral, also on the other side of the Caloosahatchee. Downtown Fort Myers currently hearing the rain hitting the Wink Studios, and then also out towards Pine Island from North Captiva, south through Captiva, towards the Sanibel Causeway. You all have been dealing with intermittent pockets of very heavy rainfall and likely hearing some rumbles of thunder. Lesser amounts in central and eastern Collier County, but coastal Collier from essentially Bonita Springs, south through Vanderbilt Beach, Naples, Marco Island, on and off scattered showers and storms, and you can still see more of that moisture offshore, which will likely move onshore within the next 30 to 40 minutes. I do expect a very inclement and unsettled weather pattern for the remainder of your Tuesday afternoon, so your evening commute home within the next hour or so, you will likely be dodging scattered showers and storms. Can't even rule out some localized street flooding, so certainly use a little extra precaution as you're heading home later this evening. Our future track model continues to highlight just an active and unsettled weather pattern from now through about 7 p.m. on and off scattered showers and storms through the midnight hour and beyond. We'll work our way late tonight, and then once again early tomorrow morning as you're heading out early Wednesday, there will be a good chance for isolated showers and storms. You can see the wet camera lens right there looking over the Caloosahatchee under an overcast sky with periods of scattered showers and storms. I will expect temperatures to hover in the lower to mid 80s over the next couple of hours. Cloud cover certainly will remain overhead. Not much change early tomorrow morning with a good chance for isolated storms under a mostly cloudy sky. Area-wide numbers tomorrow morning starting out seasonal, right where we should be in the mid to upper 70s, but definitely have the rain gear handy as you're heading out the door tomorrow morning. If you dodge some of those storms tomorrow morning, you'll likely be getting them through the lunch hour and beyond, as I'm expecting another round of mostly cloudy skies with scattered showers and afternoon thunderstorms across our area. This is 8, 9, and 10 p.m. tomorrow night, still expecting pockets of moderate to heavy rain. So definitely a very inclement and active weather pattern expected over the next couple of days. Said cloud cover will keep our temperatures feeling comfortable only in the upper 80s, lower 90s tomorrow. And for the remainder of the work week, this is the culprit. This area of low pressure is finally going to move to the east and northeast. And what's going to do, that's going to pull in some drier air on the backside of this area of low pressure late this week and into the upcoming weekend. So from now through Friday, I do expect locally heavy rainfall, and then come Saturday, Sunday, and early next work week, the potential for some slightly drier, less humid conditions as this front pushes down to the south. It's kind of rare that we're talking about a cool front in early to mid-September making its way through sections of southwest Florida. So that is some good news, but you can see expected rainfall amounts from now through Friday ranging anywhere from about 1.5 inches to upwards of 2.5 inches of rain. And then a chance for some isolated storms on Saturday, maybe just a few storms Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Temperature-wise, don't really drop for our afternoon highs, but some of our morning lows expected to fall into the lower 70s. But ladies, the big story is the less humid and drier conditions late this weekend and into early next work week.
Oh, that'll be really nice. Thank you. Tomorrow may mark the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season, but the tropics didn't get the memo this year. They have gone silent. For the first time in nearly a decade, the season's peak will pass with no active storms. The last tropical storm for Fernand fizzled out long before hitting land. The National Hurricane Center expects the Atlantic to remain quiet for at least the next week. Let's not tempt fate here.
No, let's not. Developing now, Collier County commissioners push back against a major Florida Power and Light plan.
They say proposed rate hikes to fund solar projects would hit residents and small businesses too hard. Wink News reporter Maria Regina Mendoza is live in Collier County with what commissioners decided and what it could mean for your power bill. Regina.
Yeah, Collier County commissioners voted unanimously this morning to pass a resolution opposing to FPL's rate hikes. They say this puts way too much pressure on families already dealing with rising costs. FPL is asking for a 4-year rate increase to fund new solar farms and battery storage across Florida. The company says it's part of a long-term push to expand clean energy while keeping power reliable. They say the hike would mean about a 2% increase or about $2.59 per month on average for customers. But Collier County commissioners warn that would put more strain on working families, seniors, and small businesses. The resolution they passed will be sent to the Public Service Commission, the governor, and state legislators, who will decide if FPL can move forward. Neighbors I spoke with say they support clean energy, but they don't want to be the ones paying for it.
I don't think Collier County residents are the ones who should be paying for the expansion of FPL in other communities. I think FPL is, already high priced. They've raised their rates the past few years. People are being priced out of the community. They have to give up something to keep their basic utilities going, and that shouldn't be the case. Utilities should be a matter of day-to-day living without having to go deep in your pocket.
There is going to be a massive rate increase. They are going to do it on our dime. We're not going to sit back and let a powerful company stick something down our throats without speaking back and without fighting back.
We'll keep following this story, and we will let you know what the state decides in Collier County. Maria Regina Mendoza, Wink News.
All right, thank you very much. There's more at 4 millions in sales tax money on the line. The upgrade projects Punta Gorda could see funded next.
And a new federal report shows a struggling job market, how people in Southwest Florida are feeling the impact.
Sale is on. Find deals on the hottest RVs of the year at the lowest prices in the country.
Eye out for a new flavor this January. The Girl Scouts have added a Rocky Road ice cream inspired cookie called Explore Moors to their lineup. This chocolate cookie of marshmallow and a toasted almond flavored cream. Girl Scout cookie season begins in January.
Well, check out this too close for comfort encounter. A mountain lion
If you don't have good support, you probably won't have a good golf swing.
So he got fitted for Good Feet arch supports.
It made a world of difference.
Any advice for your fellow linksmen?
2 words, the Good Feet store. How many words is that?
Try them for yourself with a free fitting at the Good Feet store.
Every breath you take.
You do everything to keep your home clean, but then you notice the vents, dust, buildup, even particles floating in the air. That's when it's time to call Stanley Steamer. No matter how much you clean, there's still hidden dirt in your air ducts. They deep clean the system so your air feels fresher and your family breathes healthier every day.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
the feeling is mutual.
Everything's made fresh.
Everything. Everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's.
Yay! We love our guests.
love.
Love.
As much as our guests love us.
This is me and my happy place.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When you use Uber or Lyft, you're taking a gamble. You have no idea who that driver is. Were they paying attention to their phone and not the road? Injured in an Uber or Lyft accident, you could have a big case. Morgan & Morgan.
Opioid overdoses kill more than 130 people.
Cookie lovers, keep an eye out for a new flavor this January. The Girl Scouts have added a Rocky Road ice cream inspired cookie called Explore Moors to their lineup. This chocolate cookie comes packed with notes of marshmallow and a toasted almond flavored cream. Girl Scout cookie season begins in January.
Well, check out this too close for comfort encounter. A mountain lion is caught on camera strolling by a stunned camper in a California state park. The man was sitting on a motorcycle looking at his phone when the big cat walked past him just inches away. Another camera caught the mountain lion running off right after. The man says he simply tried to stay still and play it cool.
Wow. Wonder if he would have played it that cool if he'd been paying attention.
I know, that's right. It's lucky he was looking at his phone.
Well, proposed changes to Cape Coral's Seven Islands project. We'll break down what the city wants to see in just a few minutes.
Discouraged me from smoking. She would always say, I don't want you to be addicted like I am. She was diagnosed with COPD. That's when she said, quit smoking. You have to quit smoking. Do it for me. But I'm addicted to cigarettes. And that's why I feel so guilty about smoking. I really need to quit.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
The new models are here, and it's time to treat yourself to a new Genesis from Fort Myers Genesis. Lease the 2026 Genesis G70 for $459 a month. Reach new heights in the 2026 GV70 for $519 a month. Or step up to the GV80, yours for only $599 a month. Or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on select vehicles. Now is the time to treat yourself to a new Genesis. FortMyersGenesis.com.
Most kitchens have spaces that are frustrating. I couldn't see or reach the back of my corner cabinet. Do you have deep lower cabinets that require you to drop to your hands and knees to get to the back? Or a pantry that's completely disorganized and impossible to navigate? Most shelving is spaced to fit tall cereal boxes. What a waste! So I had Shelf Genie over for a free design consultation. They helped me rethink how my cabinets, drawers, and shelves were utilized. Then they shared a 3D rendering of how Shelf Genie was going to customize my space. Their glide-out solutions allow you to reach the back of every cabinet and shelf without bending over. And those pantry shelves are set to heights that maximize storage. Shelf Genie found 50% more usable storage space in my kitchen. You don't need new cabinets. You need a free design consultation with Shelf Genie.
Call this number or visit the website below to receive half off the cost of your installation.
Beautiful, possessing qualities that give great pleasure. Inspiring, to give rise to creative and exciting new ideas. Entertaining, as in amusing, pleasing, or hosting friends. Exquisite, something that is finely detailed, delighting the senses. Cozy, a feeling of comfort and warmth. Cornerstone, welcome home.
Naples' most trusted floor covering destination has 2 locations to serve seasonal or full-time residents, interior designers, and customers.
covering Southwest Florida. The team that's first, fair, everywhere. This is Wink News at 4.
A major development project in Northwest Cape Coral takes another step forward. The Seven Islands project, a 48-acre mixed-use plan off Old Burn Store Road, could soon look very different from the first proposal. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Amanda Hall.
And I'm Lois Tomey. City Council will hold a public hearing next week on the proposed changes. Wink News reporter Paul Dolan went out to the area today and has details on what the amendment changes.
The amendment would remove the square footage cap and reshape how parts of the Seven Island development project are laid out. Afterwards, the state reviews it, and if it passes, the proposal will come back to City Council for a final vote.
I wish they would hurry it off. We're dying to see what it looks like when it's all done.
The amendment takes away the cap on non-residential square footage. The city says this allows for more flexibility and more potential commercial space. And that's one reason Debbie Mariner moved across the street from the development.
All the little shops are and everything, and how the house is across the street, and you could just walk over and go have dinner or go shopping.
The city says that the city planning staff is tweaking the comprehensive plan and land development code to allow for the Seven Islands project. But one neighbor I spoke to who wanted to remain anonymous says the longer she's lived in the neighborhood, the less excited she is about the Seven Islands project.
When we bought down here 8 years ago, they were like, oh yeah, Seven Islands is going to be in any time. And we're still waiting. The longer I've been here, the more I'm like, I'm not sure if it's a good thing.
Now, the city of Cape Coral tells me that the next steps are approving the developer's agreement, the final contract, and sale. And that sale is expected to be finalized in December, barring an extension. Reporting in Cape Coral, Paul Dolan, Wink News.
Living in Cape Coral comes with big changes and real challenges. Wink News reporter Paul Dolan covers your community, listening to what's working and what's not. If something's affecting your street or your family, email Paul and he'll help to get you answers.
A trip to Target